second.
Yeah, we've been in talks about that for a little bit. It's kind of like a little bit of a change. We're trying to consider about adding times at the end of the runs. But right now, we got a run going right now, and we got 3 of our runners, Treble Star, Casual Tom, and Iraq Vet, all going to Airman stage, while Mega Cow winds up going to Bubble Man. Reminder that our stage select screens have no indication of which Robot Master leads to where, so each of them are going in completely blind, as Iraq Vet is our first major casualty, taking a chicken to the face right down to the pit.
Oh, he almost did it again, recorrecting himself to head back to the ledge before having a plate of angry chicken knock him down back into the abyss a second time. But we do see the runners going through Airman. Treble Star actually into the second phase, it looks like, before the other two. Oh, this is a little rough. I'm hearing some plinks of Buster Immune enemies, it sounds like.
It looks like on Mega Cow's end, because his audio is currently up. I was assuming it was the crabs, but it might have been something else. I probably missed it. But regardless, putting on Treble Star and Casual Tom and both our Vega are dealing with some of the worst enemies in air. Seafood and air just doesn't mix. And these Metroid-like enemies are some of the worst ones, because they are the ones that continuously respawn and reappear throughout the entire area. And when they cluster up in these areas, it can get very laggy. They can spawn in areas where, especially in area with lots of pitfalls, these are some very notoriously dangerous enemies.
Well, it looks like Treble Star is the first to the boss, and it's Woodman, who we're going to see at the end of Airman. Part of, well, this is being a randomizer and all, the bosses at the end of the stages are randomized. I believe this is Quickman that is at the end of Bubble Man's stage for Mega Kyle.
Yeah, and each Robot Master has a randomized trait depending on what the seed gives. As you can see, at least on Woodman's stage, on the Woodman fight, you see him fire and drop the leaf shields at a particularly slower rate. Even the number of leaf shields that fall can be a little random. Right now, you saw 3, where you can possibly see 4 leaf shields fall. Like I said, it's a surprisingly in-depth randomizer. Frico, a little pop quiz for you, for those that don't know. Do you remember what's all randomized in this randomizer?
Ooh, let's see. I can probably remember some of it. Maybe not all of it. We have the weapons are randomized as to their behaviors. I believe aside from the regular Buster Shot, all of the sub-weapons have a particular behavior to them. Like Air Shooter being used by Mega Kyle, the arcs of the air blasts as well as the speed is randomized. It will be completely different from race to race. Let's see. The levels are not randomized. Mega Man's movement, or in the case of Casual Tom, roll, and Iraq Vet, I believe, is using Proto Man. The basic movements are not randomized. The music is randomized. I remember that much. And I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that I think you're ready to jump in and help me out with on what I'm missing for the randomizer.
You pretty much touched on what majority is randomized. All the enemy sets are basically randomized per stage. As you can see with Crashman, his attack patterns are randomized. You get randomized sound effects for the weapons you get. There's just so much stuff that is randomized in Mega Man 2. You pretty much just, well, given any randomizer, you're literally playing a different kind of game every single time. And even in this particular mode, which is easy for the sake of accessibility for newer runners, as you can see in Mega Cow's case, it can still be rough. Those Joes were just literally just beating on Mega Cow, forcing him to just go to a completely different stage, hoping you have better luck in traversing through a stage to get to another boss.
Yeah, Mega Kyle just tapped out, as it were. There's no, for those that maybe play Zelda, there's no up and A to kind of reset yourself. So you just have to take a bunch of deaths, get to that game over screen, and press new stage. And it looks like Mega Kyle hesitating a little bit with the Airman stage. Probably just trying to get the timing of the chickens down so he doesn't jump into a chicken over top of a pit. Much better to take a hit there like Mega Kyle did on stable ground that get knocked back into a pit and take a death.
So yeah, I was noticing that Crumple Star was one of the ones that found the items. He found item 3, just to keep note. One of the things that's also randomized, aside from the weapons you get from each robot master you defeat, the 3 items are also randomized amongst each other. So you never know which robot master has an item until you actually beat a boss. And in Crumple Star's case, he got item 3, but unfortunately he's in Heatman stage where, since zipless is the rule set here, he won't be using that to do some zips in this stage, which you will probably normally see in normal circumstances.
Yeah, Heatman's actually a stage, and this area specifically with the Yoku blocks, where an accidental zip is very likely to happen. So just something to watch out for. It looks like Krebelstar trying to test the crash walls to see if he can use an item that he already has. Now this will give him information later on in the game against the Boo Beam turrets as to what item he can use to break the walls to defeat that boss in, I believe, the Wily 4 stage.
That is correct, because the crash walls also has a randomized weapon that destroys it. So you got to be very mindful of which weapon can be destroyed by the walls, especially if it happens to be a weapon like heat, the atomic fire, or the bubble lead. Because in some cases you won't even know until like you get close to it or see if it actually gets destroyed. Sometimes you can have a very hard time seeing what's actually weak to the walls in that kind of scenario. So we got Krebelstar going to Heat, going to Bubbleman. Very tame Bubbleman in this fight. However, his bubbles are pretty low bounce. Starting to use the atomic fire, which is actually chargeable. One of the randomized attributes for the atomic fire is that its charge time can either be random, or if you're lucky, you can actually have a supercharged version where all your shots are the powered up version, no charge required.
Yeah, we'll see how well Casual Tom is able to navigate the Heatman stage. I believe Casual Tom has an extra stage finished. Ooh, that was close to getting bonked by the Yoku block. The timing is very, very precise in some of these segments here, and it looks like Krebelstar is our third victim of the Woodman stage. Mega Kyle and Iraqvet both opted out of Woodman so far, and it looks like Krebelstar gonna try to soldier his way through against all of these Sniper Joes with the armors.
Yeah, look like the Metal Blade is carving up the armors and the Joes pretty nicely, but he's still taking quite a beating and does unfortunately take a death. We find Airman in Flash's boss room, and we get item 2 from there, and Mega Kyle is going to Heatman. So he, thanks to that find and his find of Heatman afterwards, he's not going to have to worry about the Yoku blocks. So it's going to be quite a bit of a time save on Mega Kyle's end.
Yeah, I believe 2 of the runners have gone through the Yoku block section by jumping, Casual Tom and Krebelstar at this point. So that will be a natural time save for Mega Kyle, in that he has item 2 to expedite his way through that section. Oh, although Mega Kyle just getting denied by the I'm not sure what to call them. Creed, help me out here.
Unfortunately, I don't know the exact terminology for the process either, but let's just say we're just gonna call them as they are. They're monkeys. The monkeys are just literally blocking Mega Kyle's way, as he's having a little trouble with the Yokus, trying to get item 2 in a position to get by that singular screen.
Yeah, this will be an interesting section, as we're gonna have to have. Oh, he's actually gonna use a little item 2 to get through the first section. This is interesting. I would have figured he'd save the item 2 for later on. I guess he's hoping for a weapon energy to show up, or he may just go through the Yoku blocks naturally. Krebelstar, in other news, unfortunately taking a game over, and oh no, found Crashman stage.
Yeah, both he and Aragvat are doing Crash, and Crash is one of the most notorious stages in a Ziplet set, as you can see why. They're in the moving platform areas, it's one of the most notorious spots where some of the worst enemies can pretty much just spawn and just makes the elevator climbs just a living nightmare. In this set, you can actually tell which enemies are going to be in these rooms that Krebelstar is in by seeing the very first enemy set that appears once you enter Crashman stage. In this case, they are Chanky Makers, and Chanky Makers are pretty annoying here, since they pretty much just throw fire while you're completely on the platform. You can easily get knocked off, or Krebelstar just flat out missing his ride. So Crash stage, especially in a Ziplet setting, is easily one of the most annoying, one of the toughest. It's just one of those stages that you really, really want to avoid unless you got at least item 1 or item 2 to just try to skip all of the unnecessary platforming.
Well, I believe Iraq Vet has item 2. Let's see. Krebelstar has item 3, which I don't think is going to be of much help in the elevator section. However, oh no, Krebelstar taking a hit before he was able to get to the life up, and it looks like Krebelstar is going to tap out and just let the Chanky Makers take him down here. So Krebelstar is going to opt out of the Crashman stage. So I believe he knows of both of the whammies right now, which are the Woodman and Crashman stage.
And this is why Ziplets in a setting can be very, very dangerous. In a Ziplet setting, if you know how to do the zips, you can actually skip all this nonsense. But now that you don't have the means to zip through all this stuff, you now have to deal with all of the potential shenanigans and all of the crazy nonsense that some of these rougher areas could have been potentially skipped otherwise. These could be some very dangerous situations, even on the easiest settings. And it looks like Iraq Vet is doing the same thing that Krebelstar did, and just noping out of Crash, just seeing how rough the platform sections are.
Oh well, look at this madness! You've got an Armored Joe right at the top of the ladder, but Mega Kyle actually finding the Crash Bomb as an effective solution for the Joe armors. So that might allow Mega Kyle a huge advantage here in finishing off this Crashman stage, where Krebelstar and Iraq Vet have both opted out. And oh no, I see my old friend the Fan Devil showing up on Iraq Vet's side of the screen. And if you want an enemy that will ruin your day in any particular setting, the Fan Devil's gonna do it.
Yeah, the Fan Fiends are one of the worst enemies you can possibly find in that particular section, especially since you're probably going to be going for the energy tank on the side that Iraq Vet was on right now. Because if you're pretty much unsuspecting of a fan in that area, a beam to the face is definitely going to be a more than likely result, as Iraq Vet was unfortunate to find out. But it looks like he focusing a bit on Mega Kyle. Seeing those prop tops in the way of the ladders, he opts to just very good pulse buffering strats. Very, very well done. That's pretty much the knowledge, because Mega Kyle is one of the what we would like to call the vets of the Mega Man 2 randomizer. He also placed 4th place in the 2018 randomizer tournament. So Mega Kyle is one of those people that definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Mega Kyle is a very good runner, I would say. I don't recall how well he did in the last year's tournament, but you know what? It doesn't matter because it's a new tournament this year, so, you know, I want to look forward, not backward.
Well, just to sum up what was going on, we got a question in chat about what's randomized. There is quite a number of things that are randomized. Just start with the simple cosmetics. You got colors, you got the music, you got text. For actual gameplay, you got enemies that are randomized, you got bosses that are randomized in their rooms, the weapons you get and the items you get are randomized, as well as their attributes, except for items 2 and item 3. The weaknesses are randomized and how much damage they deal. So there are just quite a bit of things that are randomized in this game.
It might be easier to say what isn't randomized, to be honest with you. And looking at the end of the Crashman stage, we have a Heatman that is very aggressive, not really waiting too long to charge toward Mega Man after taking a hit.
We would like to call that a rapid fire Heatman in that regard, and it looked like Item 1 was in Crash the entire time.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. That is just brutal.
Yeah, Item 1 is one of those items that you will definitely like to have in the Crashman stage, not something you like to find afterwards.
Yeah, and well, it is randomized, so, you know, unlike the normal vanilla game, you don't have the items in specific stages. You could go to a stage right off the bat and be rewarded straight away. Oh no, an Iraq bet is caught out in a very bad spot. When you get trapped underneath that brick, it is very likely that if you take damage, you'll end up zipping over the other side, which would be a time penalty. It is an unintentional zip, but nonetheless, in a zipless tournament, I never want to see a zip, intentional or otherwise. Iraq Bet, the only runner so far to actually item 2 across the Heatman lava pit.
So yeah, about the tracking, forgive us if we're not tracking anything. We don't have a dedicated tracker that's watching over the 4 runners right now. And between Frickle and I trying to track and commentate at the same time, especially for 4 players at once, at least for us, is a little bit taxing. So forgive us if we don't mark any of the stuff that's been found already.
Oh, maybe we could recruit some brave soul that wants to take one for the team, as we got a couple more races coming up after this one. I believe we will have at least 1, possibly 2 more races for the showcase event tonight.
That is the plan for this evening. To know, this is actually alongside of the usual weeklies that we have on Sunday night. So along with this showcase race, this is also our usual Mega Man 2 Randomizer weekly gathering. So there's quite a number of people out. The 4 people we just seen right now are just those that we're showcasing for the showcase race. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how everyone, just depending on their skill sets and how they handle each and every situation a given seed just throws at them.
And I just happened to look over to the IRC because I wanted to see how many runners there were, and it crashed on me. So, just a little tidbit there that I cannot announce the times. I don't want to reset it until after this run is done.
So, keeping tabs, we got Treble Star returning to Crash, hoping that he now finds the means to actually get through these platform section with these Chanky Makers that are going to be just literally gatekeeping the entire area. And we got Casual Tom. He actually completing Crashman stage, so he was able to get through the entire area fine. Casual Tom, another one of the usual Sunday night runners that come by every once in a while. So he actually knows a bit of thing or two of the potential trolliness that the game can actually throw at them from time to time.
Yeah, very true. When it comes to the runners, I would say Mega Kyle is pretty much the most experienced of the lot. Now, again, I am only going off of my own personal recollection here. I believe Casual Tom was not in the first race, but was in last year's tournament.
He was in the first tournament, he wasn't in the second.
Ah, okay. I knew he was in one, but not the other. So I apologize for getting it backwards to Casual Tom. And I believe the other two runners are new to the tournament format. I certainly don't want to say new to Mega Man 2, but it's actually Casual Tom who is the first to have Dr. Wily showing on his screen at about 20 minutes, 50 seconds.
And since we do have our first person in the Wily stages, we have a very, very lovely and wonderful game that we would like to show and play for everyone. So here's the thing. One of the things that is randomized about the Mecha Dragon is his color, and of course you already know that the weakness is randomized. For everyone here, here's a little game we want you to play. Guess the color of the Mega Dragon, and for extra credit, I want y'all to guess the weakness as well.
So I guess that's the prompt for me to make my guess, isn't it? Oh, let's see. Pink stage, so we can't go pink. I don't want to vote with the stage color, so I'm going to go green dragon and bubble lead.
Alright, so I guess in my case, my particular guess is probably going to be, it's going to be all blue in this case. We're going to be true blue, so we're looking for a blue dragon and a true blue buster fight for the dragon this time around.
Alright. Oh, Casual Tom actually making out pretty well with the weapon energy power-ups showing up. I believe Mega Kyle is on his final stage, with the Woodman starting out the way it did. Not the best stages, and most of our runners actually opted out of the Woodman stage. Oh no, Mega Kyle getting knocked off the item 2. Casual Tom making his ascent up and about to visit our dragon, so we will see who's right. Well, that looks pretty green to me.
Yeah, mostly green, a little bit of red tints on the sides, but we still got a weapon to look for, and at least I get the weapon right. We got ourselves a Buster Dragon. To know, for all the Wily bosses, the Buster is going to be 50-50 for all bosses. So there is always a chance that a Wily boss will be immune to the Buster. So there will always be at least a couple of weapons, depending on which boss, that a Wily boss is going to be weak to. But it will never be weak to the Time Stopper.
I think immune to the Buster, I think you meant weak to the Buster. Or able to be damaged by the Buster. But either way, I guess it's a 50-50 one way or the other.
You know what I was trying to say.
Yeah, trying to, translate it to everybody watching out there. And so they're like, wait a second, it's immune to the Buster? I'm just messing with you. It's been a good year plus since I've ever done commentary with you, so.
And it shows. But anyway, we got Casual Tom digging for the wall weakness, and we got ourselves a pretty good one. It looks like the metal blades are the weakness for the crash walls this time. So that is knowledge she could take into Wily 4 when he fights Boo Beam. But the one thing to know, just talking about it ahead of time, since the walls are going to be weak to metal blades, the Boo Beam turrets will not be weak to it. The walls weakness and the Boo Beam weakness will never be the same thing.
Well, that is good knowledge, because it removes one of the potential ideal items for the boo beam turrets, and that is the metal blade. The other item being the leaf shield, that you would ideally like to have the boo beam turrets weak to, because then you don't have to clear out as many of the crash walls, if any of them at all.
Yeah, air shoot is actually another option for the boo beams if the arc is good enough. But we got Mega Kyle on his way to find the dragon. We got Casual Tom fighting the Pico units, and he's just keeping up with Metal Blade. So Metal Blade is one of at least 3 potential weaknesses for the Pico units.
Yeah, at this point, I think, seeing how the Metal Blade is working for Casual Tom, I don't think I would do much searching. You know you have the weapon energy to finish the fight, so get through it, and that's exactly what Casual Tom does, finishing off the final Pico block.
So of our featured runners, Casual Tom right now is in the lead with Mega Kyle not too far behind, but like I said, unfortunately, due to a lack of a tracker, we're not 100% sure where Crubble and Iraq Vet are, but I'm pretty sure they at least are halfway done with their respective Robot Masters right now. So I'm pretty sure they are well on their way. We're going to see where Iraq Vet is going to be after he cleared Crash's stage.
If he has a stage left at all, which he doesn't, because we see Dr. Wily, I was going to say I did not recall him being in Woodman, which is exactly where Krebelstar is. I believe Krebelstar should be hot on the heels of Iraq Vet into the Wily 1 stage.
So as we have Casual Tom going through Wily 3, a little bit about the music. Of course, some of the music is randomized, but particularly for the Wily stages, Wally's 1 and 2, their musics are interlocked. Wally's 3 and 4, they're interlocked. Wally 5 will have a completely different music set on its own, where it plays throughout with no interruptions. And actually, Wally 6, you're not going to only get drops anymore. You're going to have some music in there too, with some rather interesting results, as Casual Tom begins his dig for whatever the weakness is for the guts tank.
Looks like he's found something, but he's right on top of it, and I couldn't tell what it was.
That was definitely Air Shooter.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, as we see, Krebelstar and Iraq Vet very close to each other in the way of being in Wily 1, so we're going to have a race on the back end of things. Casual Tom out to a pretty good lead right now. Don't want to count Mega Kyle out. If Casual Tom makes a mistake, takes a death, unfortunately, Mega Kyle should be within range to close that gap up pretty quickly here.
And Wally 4 is definitely the place you can do it. One of the things about the first parts of Wally 4 is, yeah, that's it. Casual Tom, thank you for showcasing it, because for the first 2 screens, the fake floors, they are actually randomized. You have no idea where the fake floor is going to be. Luckily, Casual Tom has his item 2 set up, so he doesn't have to worry about it all that much. Those can be very dangerous if you don't have the items to ignore that potential platforming, as it could be just an educated guess to hope you don't fall down several screens or fall down into a nasty spike pit.
Yeah, and here we go. Here's the fun part. These platform sections, there's 4 of these sections, and they can be rather difficult. Hopefully, Casual Tom's able to get through without little issue. It's on through the first 2, and here's usually the one that gives runners the most trouble. And there's...
Yeah, except it's empty, but that doesn't matter, as Casual Tom unfortunately misplaces his item 2 and winds up falling to the spiky death below.
Yeah, even without the enemies, these boards, you make that little mistake and... oh no. you see what happens. Just maybe a lapse in judgment. Who knows? But Casual Tom maybe thinking that they are not in first place out of the restreamed runners. The runners do not know where they are in accordance to other runners, so he may just be panicking trying to push when he's in the lead. He does not know this, and there's no enemy here to kind of bounce off of to get into that platform below, or the drop down below, so he has to wait for the platform here.
Definitely safer, especially considering that he's taking a death, but unfortunately it's going to be slower because he's waiting for the platforms to get to a position where he can continue on. So yeah, he definitely lost quite a bit of time, but compared to the restream runners, he's still quite a ways ahead, surprisingly. But you got to think in his mind, he's probably not in a good position as far as placement at the moment.
Well, even with that death, you take the death and you go, oh no. We see Mega Kyle pulling a similar strategy, so Casual Tom just clearing out the Boo Beam turret walls. So now he's gonna search out the item. No Buster.
Oh yes, very much Buster.
Oh no. So 2 free bosses in the Wily stage. Buster, the solution for the dragon, as well as the Boo Beam turrets.
So actually, that would be one of the situations where digging for weapons could be a very tedious affair. Having a Buster not only makes it a little faster, but it also saves on energy. So it was very lucky that it happened to be the weakness for the Boo Beam turrets. Meanwhile, we got Casual Tom, the first of our restream runners, going through the boss rush. As I said previously, Wally 5 has a single music track on its own and it's not interrupted in the slightest by the boss music. So you get a full free reign of the music throughout the entire stage.
And it looks like Mega Kyle's struggling a little bit with the Boo Beam turret section, not taking the information that Casual Tom was able to gather in figuring out what the wall weakness is. So Mega Kyle...
It might not actually be that. He probably didn't search in Wily 2 like Casual Tom did, and he's doing the searching now, which puts him in quite a bit of danger as he actually takes the death right there, trying to search for the wall weakness.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Mega Kyle. Well, let's see. He's lost a couple of his items. Let's see. The eye would be... No, that's not going to affect him here. But it looks like Iraq Vet actually farming up some energy of the weapon and Mega Man energy kind, all the same.
Yeah, he unfortunately took a death to Pico and is now doing a little bit of farming to try to get his energy set up before going against Pico. Meanwhile, Treble Star also digging for the weakness for the Gus tank. We know one of them is air, and he does find air, and he's just going to plug away all of those air shots, and he's going to continue on to Wally 4.
Alright, so Treble Star actually taking the lead over Iraq Vet on the backside of things. Casual Tom onto his last Robot Master. So we should be seeing the Wily machine in fairly short order here, while Mega Kyle is on the back end of Wily 4, Treble Star just starting Wily 4.
Iraq taking yet another unfortunate death to Pico. Pico is one of the rougher bosses in this set. Pico hits hard, and sometimes dealing with the weaknesses can be a very annoying affair. So Iraq just having a little bit of unfortunate luck on Pico. Meanwhile, Casual Tom is getting the Wily Machine special of a Buster Week boss.
Yeah, supposed 50-50 Wily machine, which is more like 95-5 with the Buster weakness being there or not, it feels like. I think every run that I've done commentary on so far, the Wily machine at the end of the gauntlet has been Buster weak.
And for those that don't know, for the Wily machine, if the first phase is weak to Buster, the second phase will also be weak to it as well. But if it's Buster immune, you're gonna have to dig for quite a bit of weaknesses.
And Casual Tom into Victory Road, making his way through, and now against the final boss. 35 minutes and 30 seconds in. See if he has luck with finding the weapon that will take down the alien. It's not the Buster, not the air shooter.
Our Rec Vet taking a fortunate game over. He really just walled by the Pico units. He found all the weaknesses, but he just can't seem to get the kill on it yet.
Oh, there it is. Casual Tom finding what looked like the crash bomb, so that'll do it. Casual Tom gonna finish first out of our restreamed runners. I cannot verify if it was first overall.
No, it was not first overall. Actually, we do have several other racers that are streaming right now. Actually, the first place runner was Squidman, another one of our veterans and one of our top Mega Man 2 randomizer runners finishing first place, with Siberian Bull 9 coming in second place a few minutes after. So of all of all the racers in total, Casual Tom actually came in third.
That's still quite impressive. With beating Mega Kyle and the two newer runners, Krebel Star and Iraq Vet. That's not exactly a small task of, well done, a good time. Can't say anything bad about it. So well done, Casual Tom. You may not have won the war in the overall victory, but you won the battle here of the 4 restreamed runners.
Yeah, Mega Cow is doing fine. He's in Wily 5. He's pretty much just gonna go through the refights as one would expect. Treble Star should be taking care of business. He's on the last 2 Blue Beam units, plugging them away with Buster, and of course, as soon as I say, he does in fact beat some, and he's on his way to the boss rush. Iraq Vet is still trying to get over the wall that is known as Pico Pico. He finds the metal blades, but he's just taking quite a bit of damage. And now he finally uses his E-tanks. One of the things we stress in Mega Man 2 Rando, especially in bosses like Pico, if you got an E-tank, please use it. It's better to just use it and make sure that you live through another fight so you can just move on to the next stage rather than just try to go through it. And you can imagine the situation that our Rec Vet had to struggle through because of just not using the E-tank and moving on.
Well, you see the in-race implication of it as well. Iraq Vet was first into Wily 3, I believe, between himself and Krebel Star, and this struggle with Pico has cost him a full stage worth of time in Krebel Star, possibly a stage and a half, as Krebel Star is halfway through the gauntlet at this point.
So we got Mega Cow going through our Freako trademark Victory Road, as now he's about to take on the alien, which, as we know, is weak to crash bombs. We're going to see how quickly Mega Kyle finds that weakness.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Mega Kyle, I don't think has anything in the way of item issues. Uh-oh. Oh, no, he does have it.
Nah, he's good to go.
And yeah, I saw those little items energy stocks, and I went, uh-oh, if that one that isn't the full one is Crash Bomb, that could be a problem. Alright, so Mega Kyle does finish. If you would be so kind for an official time.
Looks like we got Mega Kyle being our 4th finished runner of the whole group, finishing in 39 minutes. Of course, he's the 2nd place finisher of our restream runners.
Alright, so now we have Krebelstar onto his last Robot Master refight, and Iraq Vet going into Wily 4. When it came to going into the Wily stages, Iraq Vet had about a 5-second or so advantage, which was unfortunately taken away by a couple fights with the Pico Blocks. So we'll see if Iraq Vet can keep it together and finish the seed, while Krebelstar taking down the Wily machine, hopefully.
He should be, yeah, he's ready to take one more hit. Coming in a bit close to living on the edge. 1 pixel of energy left, but it's still a Wily machine down as he's on his way to the alien.
So it'd be interesting to see if Krebel drops to the left or drops to the right. Looks like dropping to the right, which means he's going straight to the alien. Not a bad plan. If you have an item that you don't have the energy for, you can take it to the alien. When you reset back out into this room, you can pick up those energy drops for the item you need, instead of refilling 2 random energy bars, running out of it, and going, oh great, now I have to take a whole game over to reset the item energy.
So we're about to see Krebelstar's ammo situation, but I don't think it should be bad. But he's going to check the first page first, so he's going to take a little bit of a longer time before he figures out the crash bombs are going to be the weakness for this particular alien seed.
Well, looks like he's got a full supply, so the alien should be going down fairly quickly here. And there it goes, Krebelstar finishing up a couple minutes behind Mega Kyle.
Yep, our 3rd finished runner of this group, officially in 5th place with a 42 time according to SRL, which actually winds up being a new racing best for him, which was about a near 4-minute improvement.
Ah, well done. It's good to show, the improvement from seed to seed, especially with how dreadful the Woodman stage was. And I know Krebelstar fell victim to it, so the experience of these runs starting to show for Krebelstar, with a pretty big improvement from about 46 minutes down to 42.
Well, I will have to say that Krebelstar is capable of speedier times. I've been keeping tabs on Krebelstar whenever he does randomizer runs. He does have a very solid mid-30s to his name, around the 35-minute mark. So Krebelstar is capable of much faster times. It was just this seed was a bit of a rough one with some of the stuff in Woodman stage, the Crashman stage with the Chanky makers in the moving platform rooms. This seed was just kind of a bit rough for Krebelstar this seed, as we've seen Iraq Vet continuing on to his attempt at the refights.
Yeah, there were pitfalls, to put it bluntly, for all of the runners, and that Woodman stage was dreadful. I think the early Airman stage was not exactly an easy one, but that might have set the tone for our runners that this race was going to be pretty rough, all told.
Looks like we don't have audio on our rack vet's end, so I guess we're gonna just put up some placeholder music and just continue observing our rack vet continuing on through his refights.
Well, we could always keep the audio on somebody who has the end credits rolling. I don't know how entertaining that'll be, but here we go with Iraq Vet, I believe, on his second or third Robot Master, finding Heatman as his first. Oh, actually, he's quite a ways through. Only 2 remain.
I'm trying to switch the audio between streams. I cannot get anything right now.
Oh, no.
I think we're gonna be audioless for a little bit.
Oh, that's all right. We'll just have to, amuse the viewers with our sparkling repartee with each other.
I could do that, but I don't think the stream will like that. Don't get me wrong. I think I would like to think I have a pretty decent voice, at least passable, but the court of public opinion may say otherwise.
Oh, that's all right. It's not quite karaoke night for me, so yeah, I get you on that one.
But yeah, still keeping up with Iraq Vet. He's on his. Oh, now we get music. But seriously, Iraq Vet is on his final Robot Master. Gotta take out Bubble Man. Shouldn't be too hard of a fight. Just another bit of a damage race before he goes fight against the Wily Machine, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna be happy to find that is actually Buster Week.
Well, did himself a favor by picking up that last power-up, giving himself a little around about 2/3 of a health bar to work with. So this first part of the Wily Machine will go by pretty quickly, and the damage race is on to see if we can take care of stage 2. No, looks like an E-Tank gonna get used. Always good to have an E-Tank, especially if you need to use it, like Iraq Vet need to do here. If he didn't have an E-Tank, that could have been problematic, as we see Iraq Vet go down into Victory Road.
So as the last of our restream runners, we're gonna let you know now that more than likely we're gonna be switching a couple of runners out while a few may stay, but continue to stay tuned as we're gonna have at least one more race to showcase before we call it quits for the night. So yeah, we got some more for you. We got some more for you.
I'm kind of hoping we might be able to sneak in a third race too, but I don't want to promise anything that I can't deliver on here. So we'll see how it all plays out. Personally, I'm rooting for that third race. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Meanwhile, we got Iraq Vet doing the first page shuffle. Need to go to that second page to find those crash bonds, which is the actual weakness for the alien.
Yeah, as much as we know that, unfortunately, Iraq Vet not getting the hint. Oh no, taking a death.
He has the lights to cover it. He'll eventually find the weakness. But look like was that a second page switch? If that's the case, then he's going to be closer to finding it on the second time around.
I think he got most of the items out of the way from page 1, so just process of elimination at this point, telling him, okay, it's page 2, off we go.
And he does finally find the crash bonds. It's not going to be much longer now.
Alright, he does have an E-Tank if it really comes down to it, and it won't. So, Iraq Vet finishing off the alien and completing the seed.
So that's it. All of our runners, all our showcase runners for the first race has completed. If you want a placement for Iraq Vet, he was actually the final racer to finish in this particular seed in 7th place with a 49-minute run. But all that matters right now is that we have finished a seed. That's all we can really ask for all our runners. Once again, this is a race where skill set, skill ability, all that stuff is thrown out the middle. No, it doesn't matter. All we just doing it is just showcasing it for the upcoming tournament that's gonna be starting in a few weeks. I'll put the command out in chat yet again. Once again, skill level not required. We just want people to just come in and have fun and just race a randomizer that we just love to mess around with.
Alright, so, you have any parting thoughts? I think we can put this race to bed and get everything set up for round 2.
Yeah, it was a nice showcase for our current runners, but right now I think we're just trying to see what the next, who's going to be up showcase next, if we're going to get some changes or if we're going to keep our 4 runners.
Mega Kyle is going to stay on. We're going to bring on Siberian Bull, Bob the Builder, and Squidman to join him on the stream. So we're going to do a little behind-the-scenes magic here. And I think it's just a matter of when we sign off for this so we can get everything set up for round 2.
Alright, so yes, it looks like it is going to be, let's see. If I'm reading it correctly, and I'm reading from the Discord, Casual Tom is going to be the one that's staying on, while the 3 others are going to be replaced by Siberian Bull 9, Squidman, and Bob Dead Builder. All 3 of those are actually veterans of the Mega Man 2 randomizer and some usuals for the Sunday night weeklies. So we should be seeing some interesting runs coming from these guys in a couple of moments once everything gets set up. And it looks like we're back. So for our next set of restreamed runners, it looked like it was Mega Kyle that's deciding to stay, not Casual Tom. So Mega Kyle from the first race is staying, but for our newer runners that are going to be showcased, we got Squidman, Siberian Bull Knight, and Bob Dead Builder. All three of them are the usual people that will be running the Sunday night weeklies that are usually taking place right now. So we're going to have some people that actually knows a lot of the ins and outs of the Mega Man 2 randomizer running in a moment.
Yeah, this run should go... should I dare commentator curse it and say smoothly? At least I think compared to the first run, these are all experienced runners, and I think their decision making when it comes to how to approach a seed might be a little better than our previous runners, although there is a bit of wait a second. Did we just have 2 seeds in a row that have the Ninja Gaiden opening scroll? Because that was the seed from Game 1.
Complete and utter coincidence if that's the case. We only have such a limited amount of randomized intro text. It's just probably a coincidence that the Ninja Gaiden one probably was used twice in this one. But anyway, the countdown has begun. We should be starting in a few seconds on our second race of our